At this time, I'd like to introduce Dan McTeague to bring us greetings from the Canadian government.
Because of the sacrifice of so many, by air, by land, by sea, are here today in a nation that has seen prosperity that is unequaled in its time. About 66 years ago, 11 hours and a few minutes, the Canadian troops between Courcelles and Aubin-sur-Mer landed the first wave of 500 Canadian soldiers. This was in fact the second most fortified of the 5 areas which were attacked on D-Day. In fact, that number of 500 suffered some 50% casualties. The second wave, of course, was able to move further, and so regiments like the North Shore Regiment, the Queen's Own Rifles, the Winnipeg Rifles, the Regina Rifles were all able to not only achieve their target, but go further than any other on that day. Now, why is this day significant more than the others? I need not tell you that. You're here to commemorate what has happened. It is that in 66 years since that time, the world has learned to work with each other. The world has learned to cooperate and bring itself together to respond to a number of crises at any given time. My colleague Mark Holland and I have on occasion had opportunity to meet with many veterans in the area, but nothing brings home the message of how significant the sacrifices that were made in the First World War, Second World War, D-Day, not to exclude any other actions that were taken on sea or by air. But because of that day, the Allied forces were able to penetrate the invincible wall, a wall that had been seen as almost impenetrable given the sacrifices of Canadian soldiers at Dieppe on August 19, 1942. But that test gave rise to the courage of the men and women. Some of them are here today from last year, years before. We have had a number of D-Day veterans with us. Hal Whitten, of course, in the Navy, from behind, doing the shelling on corvettes. We've had Wilf, and of course Jen DeVries, who was downtown commemorating an event. But I want to tell you that this morning is not just a celebration of freedom. It is a celebration of who we are today. Without D-Day, without the courage of those men and women who did what they had to do, without the sacrifice of the Dalton brothers, I mention that because they were both leading the Queen's Own Rifles on the Nan division. There were 2 divisions, 2 areas of attack, the Mike and Nan. The Dalton brothers are well known in this region. In fact, the Dalton Armories, which isn't very far from here, just north of President Jim Geislick's branch 258, not far from Jim's Legion, commemorates the 2 individuals, one wounded, one later became Minister of Defense, who, through the Queen's Own Rifles, did more on that day than anyone else. So we are here today to recognize a significant event that may not have happened in our lives, but a significant event which changed our lives forever. It's for that reason that we celebrate D-Day, and that we give thanks to the courage of the Canadians who were the spearhead of that invasion, and for who we would not have the freedom that we enjoy today, and for whom we would not be able to celebrate not only our freedoms, but the value of that flag, for whom we would not be able to celebrate the 144 Canadian soldiers who've given their lives in Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. It's an important day, but it's an important day to recognize that we are who we are because of what they gave. God bless our soldiers, our veterans, and the legions who support them.
Thank you, Dan.